Hi, welcome to His Word Inspires channel. Today we continue with the day 5 reading with Job chapter 6, 7, 8, and 9. Job chapter 6 verse 1. But Job answered and said, verse 2, Oh, that my grief was thoroughly weighed and my calamity laid in the balances together. Verse 3, For now it will be heavier than the sand of the sea, therefore my words are swallowed up. Verse 4, For the arrows of the Almighty are within me, the poison whereof drinketh up my spirit. The terrors of God do set themselves in array against me. 5. Doth the wild ass bray when he hath grass, or lowereth the ox over his fodder? Verse 6. Can that which is unsavory be eaten without salt? Or is there any taste in the white of an egg? Verse 7. The things that my soul refused to touch are as my sorrowful meat. Verse 8. Oh, that I may have my request, and that God would grant me the thing that I long for. Verse 9. Even that it would please God to destroy me, that it would let loose his hand and cut me off. Verse 10. Then should I yet have comfort, yea, I would harden myself in sorrow. Let him not spare, for I have not concealed the words of the Holy One. Verse 11. What is my strength that I should hope? And what is mine end that I should prolong my life? Verse 12. Is my strength the strength of stones, or is my flesh of brass? Verse 13. Is not my help in me, and is wisdom driven quite from me? Verse 14. To him that is afflicted, pity should be shewed from his friend, but he forsaketh the fear of the Almighty. Verse 15. My brethren have dealt deceitfully as a brook, and as a stream of brooks they pass away. Verse 16. Which are blackish by reason of the ice, and wherein the snow is hid. Verse 17. What time the wax warm they vanish. When it is hot, they are consumed out of their place. Verse 18. The paths of their way are turned aside. They go to nothing and perish. Verse 19. The troops of Timor looked. The companies of Sheba waited for them. Verse 20. They were confounded because they had hoped. They come thither and were ashamed. Verse 21. For now ye are nothing. Ye see my casting down and are afraid. Verse 22. Did I see bring unto me, or give a reward for me of my substance? Verse 23. Or deliver me from the enemy's hand, or redeem me from the hand of the mighty? Verse 24. Teach me, and I will hold my tongue, and cause me to understand wherein I have erred. Verse 25. How forcible are right words, but what doth your arguing reprove? Verse 26. Do ye imagine to reprove words and the speeches of one that is desperate, which are as wind? Verse 27. Yea, ye overwhelm the fatherless, and ye dig a pit for your friend. Verse 28. Now therefore be content. Look upon me, for it is evident that if I lie. Verse 29. Return, I pray you, let it not be iniquity. Yea, return again, my righteousness is in it. Verse 30. Is there iniquity in my tongue? Cannot my taste discern perverse things? Job chapter 7 verse 1. Is there not an appointed time to man upon earth? And not his days also like the days of an hireling? Verse 2. As a servant earnestly desireth the shadow, and as an hireling looketh for the reward of his work. Verse 3. So am I made to possess months of vanity, and wearisome nights are appointed to me. Verse 4. When I lie down, I say, when shall I arise, and the night be gone, and I am full of tossings to and fro unto the dawning of the day. Verse 5. My flesh is clothed with worms and clods of dust. My skin is broken and become loathsome. Verse 6. My days are swifter than a weaver's shuttle, and are spent without hope. Verse 7. Oh, remember that my life is winged, mine eye shall no more see good. Verse 8. The eye of him that hath seen me shall see me no more. Thine eyes are upon me, and I am not. Verse 9. As the cloud is consumed and vanisheth away, so he that goeth down to the grave shall come up no more. Verse 10. He shall return no more to his house, neither shall his place know him any more. Verse 11. Therefore I will not refrain my mouth. I will speak in the anguish of my spirit. I will complain in the bitterness of my soul. Verse 12. Am I a sea or a whale that thou settest to watch over me? Verse 13. When I say, my bed shall comfort me, My couch shall ease my complaints. Verse 14. Then thou scarest me with dreams, and terrifiest me through visions. Verse 15. So that my soul chooseth strangling and death rather than my life. Verse 16. I loathe that I would not live always. Let me alone, for my days are vanity. Verse 17. What is man that thou shouldest magnify him, and that thou shouldest set thine heart upon him? Verse 18. And that thou shouldest visit him every morning and try him every moment. Verse 19. How long wilt thou not depart from me, nor let me alone till I swallow down my spittle? Verse 20. I have sinned, what shall I do unto thee, O thou preserver of men? Why hast thou set me as a mark against thee, so that I am a burden to myself? Verse 21. Why dost thou not pardon my transgression, and take away mine iniquity? For now shall I sleep in the dust, and thou shalt seek me in the morning, but I shall not be. Job chapter 8 verse 1. Then answered Bildad the Shuhite and said, verse 2, How long wilt thou speak these things, and how long shall the words of thy mouth be like a strong wind? Verse 3. That God perverts judgment, or doth the Almighty pervert justice? Verse 4. If thy children have sinned against thee, and ye have cast them away for their transgression. Verse 5. If thou wouldest seek unto God betimes, and make thy supplication to the Almighty. Verse 6. If thou were pure and upright, surely now it would awake for thee, and make the habitation of thy righteousness prosperous. Verse 7. Though thy beginning was small, yet thy latter end should greatly increase. Verse 8. For inquire, I pray thee, of the former age, and prepare thyself to the search of their fathers. Verse 9. For we are but of yesterday, and know nothing, because our days upon earth are a shadow. Verse 10. Shall not they teach thee, and tell thee, and utter words out of their mouth? Verse 11. Can the rush grow up without mire? Can the flag grow without water? 12. Whilst it is yet in its greenness, and not cut down, it withereth before any other herb. Verse 13. So are the paths of all that forget God, and the hypocrite's hope shall perish. Verse 14. Whose hope shall be cut off, and whose trust shall be a spider's web? Verse 15. He shall lean upon his house, but it shall not stand. He shall hold it fast, but it shall not endure. Verse 16. He is green upon the sun, and his branch shooteth forth in his garden. Verse 17. His roots are wrapped about the heap, and seeth the place of stones. Verse 18. If he destroy him from his place, then it shall deny him, saying, I have not seen thee. Verse 19. Behold, this is the joy of his way, and out of the earth shall others grow. Verse 20. Behold, God will not cast away a perfect man, neither will he help the evildoers. Verse 21. Till he fill thy mouth with laughing, and thy lips with rejoicing. Verse 22. They that hate thee shall be clothed with shame, and the dwelling place of the wicked shall come to naught. Job chapter 9 verse 1. Then Job answered and said, verse 2, I know it is so of a truth, but how should man be just with God? Verse 3, if he will contend with him, he cannot answer him 1 of 1,000. Verse 4, he is wise in heart and mighty in strength, who hath hardened himself against him, and hath prospered. Verse 5, which removeth the mountains, and they know not, which overturneth them in his anger. Verse 6, which shaketh the earth out of her place, and the pillars thereof tremble. Verse 7, which commandeth the sun, and it riseth not, and sealeth up the stars. Verse 8, which alone spreadeth out the heavens, and treadeth upon the waves of the sea. Verse 9, which maketh Arcturus, Orion, and Pleiades, and the chambers of the south. Verse 10, which doeth great things past finding out, yea, and wonders without number. Verse 11, lo, he goeth by me, and I see him not. He passeth on also, but I perceive him not. Verse 12, behold, he taketh away, who can hinder him? Who will say unto him, what doest thou? Verse 13, if God will not withdraw his anger, the proud helpers do stoop under him. Verse 14, how much less shall I answer him, and choose out my words to reason with him? Verse 15, whom though I were righteous, yet would I not answer, but I would make supplication to my judge. Verse 16, If I had called and he had answered me, yet would I not believe that he had hearkened unto my voice. Verse 17. For he breaketh me with a tempest, and multiplieth my wounds without cause. Verse 18. It will not suffer me to take my breath, but filleth me with bitterness. Verse 19. If I speak of strength, lo, he is strong. And if of judgment, who shall set me a time to plead? Verse 20. If I justify myself, mine own mouth shall condemn me. If I say I am perfect, it shall also prove me perverse. Verse 21. Though I were perfect, yet would I not know my soul. I would despise my life. Verse 22. This is one thing, therefore I said it. It destroyeth the perfect and the wicked. Verse 23. If the scourge slay suddenly, it will laugh at the trial of the innocent. Verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Verse 25. Now my days are swifter than a post. They flee away, they see no good. Verse 26. They are passed away as the swift ships, as the eagle that hasteth to the prey. Verse 27. If I say, I will forget my complaints, I will leave off my heaviness and comfort myself. Verse 28. I am afraid of all my sorrows. I know that thou wilt not hold me innocent. Verse 29. If I be wicked, why then labor I in vain? Verse 30. If I wash myself with snow water, and make my hands never so clean. Verse 31. Yet shalt thou plunge me in the ditch, and mine own clothes shall abhor me. Verse 32. For he is not a man as I am, that I should answer him, and we should come together in judgment. Verse 33. Neither is there any day's man betwixt us, that might lay his hand upon us both. Verse 34. Let him take away his rod away from me, and let not his fear terrify me. Verse 35. Then would I speak and not fear him, but it is not so with me. May the Lord God Almighty bless the reading of his word in Jesus' name. Thank you.